Good morning, everyone. Let's see here. See if we can get this party started. Boy, oh boy. Christmas time. It was a raucous event here at the Shalhoubs. Good morning, Alex.
Morning.
You made it after all the festivities yesterday.
Well, I haven't turned my camera on yet. You're not sure that I'm here.
Well, that's probably true. Good point. Good morning, James.
Good morning.
How was your Christmas?
Uneventful.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
To see Mega Dave, that was fun.
Yeah, exactly. And the excursion that you two took, it just cracks me up. That was so cool.
You liked that a little bit, did you?
I did, very much so. Very much so. Morning, Dave.
He was winning money.
I saw that.
Morning, guys.
That machine was crapping money for him.
It was.
It was great. How are you, Dave?
Good. Yourself?
Well, I'm doing well. It was a successful party at the Shalhoubs on Christmas Eve. The game went off without a hitch.
Big winners.
Big winners. Oh yeah. It was just a blast. How about you guys? How did everything go there? Oh, we lose Dave? I think we might. Well, there's Alex. Good morning, Alex. Now he's popped back out again. There he is.
Trying to get TikTok to work. Good morning.
Possum. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. So quite a bit of information. So there is a video that has been distributed, at least that I've seen, talking about the silver price and how the banks had a secret meeting on the 23rd, I think, saying that they were going to suppress the price at $75. And that commentator was saying, well, if they can suppress it, if they can bring it down below $75 within a 48-hour period, then they may still be able to play the Ponzi. He didn't think that was going to happen. And we'll have to wait and see what Alex's comes up with the indices. But what I find interesting is they said it was a 48-hour period that if it stayed above $75 for 48 hours, that would trigger some shorts that were going to crater the shorts and accelerate the market. Now, I don't know whether or not that's going to happen, and this is not financial advice, but I find it interesting that silver is skyrocketing. Crypto is still down from last time I looked anyway, but I think that are we going to be seeing some kind of a major bull run come January 1st and 2nd? Well, I guess time will tell. Well, let's see. Who do we have here with us this morning? I Speak 1717 said, hope you all had a great Christmas. We did. Hope you did too, I Speak. Excuse me. Hold on one second. Got a frog in my throat this morning. Let's see. Joe is here. Dana Mackey just showed up. Native San Diegan said, yabba dabba do. Exactly. Martini time said, I saw the same thing, Sam. Yeah, I saw it too. And it's certainly AI, the Asian guy that's speaking. But hey, nice hat and mustache. Thank you. It's definitely a AI. Now, whether or not the information is accurate, well, time will tell. I Speak 1717 said, I saw a story that Samsung went to Mexico and bought all their silver. Well, what they've done is they've created a new technology that increases the battery life. Oh, nice, Charlie. Thank you for the rising star. That increases the battery life exponentially. And Mexico's mine, I think, is the largest silver mine. And apparently the CEOs of Samsung jumped on their corporate jet, flew out to Mexico to negotiate directly with them. At least that's my understanding of it at this point. But we'll have to see. Hey, Secret Squirrel's here. Good morning, Squirrel. Glad you can make it. Dozer21 said, Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, Merry Christmas to you too. And look who's here, Mama Bear. Good morning, Mama Bear. Kelly Thurman 4. Huh? Did you change your username, Kelly? I'm not sure if you did or not, but it looks like you may have. Teresa Faria, contractor, is here as well. Oh, wait a second. Let me see if I can get this going here. Tammy C54. Let's see. Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Jan Levin being grandma. Good morning, Jan. And then we have David Morales over on YouTube. He said, Happy St. Stephen's Day, all. What is St. Stephen's Day? I don't even know what that is. Wolf God is here over on YouTube. Earl Shannon. Good morning, Earl. Anybody know what a St. Stephen's Day is? I have no idea. You guys ever heard of that?
Nope.
Huh, maybe it's a UK thing. Virgo 47 just popped in. Good morning, Virgo. Merry Christmas to you as well. Kelly Thurman said, no, I didn't. That's weird. Why would it be 4 instead of 2? I don't know. But Kelly, once again, came through with the cowboy candy that I received a couple of days ago. And she put some coffee in there, just a whole care package. It was so sweet. Thank you, Kelly.
St. Stephen's Day, also known as the Feast of St. Stephen, is a Christian holiday celebrated on December 26th in Western churches and the December 27th in some Eastern Orthodox traditions.
Wow, thanks, Alex. Yeah, I had no idea. Mike Rizzo just showed up over on YouTube. Hey, Mike. Secret Squirrel said silver is breaking JP Morgan's back as we speak. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Benji 1959. Big Ben is here. And John Gwynn. John, are you feeling pretty comfy right now with the $5,000 bet that you are not that gold being at 5,000?
Only $440 to go.
Oh, Trump trade! Yes, John, setting it off right. Cognitive Dissonance said platinum and gold too. Yeah, I saw platinum went up hundreds of dollars a couple of days ago, and I haven't tracked it since then. But yeah, you're right. Towie Bixby's here. Good morning, Towie. She said, I gave a lot of silver for Christmas gifts yesterday. Smart idea. Very smart. Oh, let's see. Mama Bears with the squirrels. I know. I get it. All right, Alex, let's do some indices. What do you say?
What do you say?
Yes,
I
sir.
say, welcome in, everybody. 12/26, 2025. The year's winding down. Hope everybody had a great holiday. Yes, the markets today. Everything is up and up as far as the indices go. They were up until I hit refresh. S&P 500 down 6 points to 6,925. The Dow is down 85 points to 48,645. NASDAQ is down 7 points at 23,605. My, how things change so quickly in a matter of 10 minutes. Looking at the subject of the hour, commodities. Silver is up $4.50 since opening, currently sitting at $76.28.
Wow.
Gold is up $63.50, currently sitting at $4,566. Wow. Oil, however, is down $1 a barrel at $57.25. Crypto's not looking good. Everything's down across the board. Down 1% is Bitcoin at 86,937. Down 1.6% is XRP at $1.84. Ethereum down 1% to 2,913. Stellar Lumens down 1% at 21. Cardano down 2% at 35 cents. So mixed bag across the board this morning with the indices. Some up, some down, but the big ones are gold and silver, smashing records. Volume is way up. I think that they're trying real hard to not hit those calls. The paper, right? We've talked about it many times. There's a lot more paper out there than there is physical silver. And when everybody starts calling paper, there's just not enough silver out there to suffice, which is going to do what to the price?
Exactly. Wendy just joined us. Good morning, Wendy. Hokey Gigi's here. And there she is, the star of the show, Lisa Maria. Good morning, Lisa.
Somebody asked about copper. Copper's up 25 cents at $5.83.
Wow.
A pound?
What is
I
that?
would
No.
think it's a pound. Yeah, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of copper, can you guys see this? My nephew gave me a copper bracelet. Because
Nice.
I've been looking at them, and they're supposed to help with inflammation. They're supposed to help with joint pain. At 63 years old, that happens occasionally for me. But I just started wearing it on Christmas Eve. I just love it, and that's for my nephew Mark. Thank you, Mark, again. Let's see here. Wildlife Fan is here. They said, we gave our children and grandchildren silver and gold for Christmas. Smart move. I think that's wonderful. Very nice.
And told them keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Vicky Veronica is here. Good morning. Oh, Wendy has a copper bracelet too. Oh, interesting. Wow, might have hit a home run there. Oh, and before we get to Dave, everyone, I just want to remind everybody, we figured out some of these things with TikTok and the algorithm. What Alex is pointing to is if you can send a heart me, if everybody in the chat sends a heart me while we're on the live, it'll break this algorithm. It'll help us immensely. If you could do that, that would be great. And also, if you were a subscriber, your subscription does carry over, but any new subscribers have to join as a super fan. Now, that's not my call. That's a TikTok thing, but we will be reinstituting our Friday subscriber only lives at the beginning of the year. So join in if you can, if you have the ability to, that would be great. Love to have you on there with us. Let's see here. Enrico said copper is magnetic. Yeah, I don't know if it's so much the magnetism of it or some element within the copper, but it's supposed to help with joint pain and inflammation. We'll see. I'll let you guys know as it goes forward. Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture?
Pretty quiet across the board today, but I wanted to say Interstate has reached level 17 with you, Sam.
Oh,
17.
nice.
And I was talking to some of my kids, some of the boys, and he goes, now that silver's at 75, it can't go much higher. And I looked at him, I go,
yeah,
not financial advice, but in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other son invested in some XRP and stuff. He goes, I'm down this much. I go, well, when it hits your number again, just sell. Well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, then don't complain about it, right?
Exactly, and those are words of wisdom.
Yep. Corn mixed across the board. Soybeans down 1 to 2 today. Wheat is down 1 to 3. Cattle is up 0.5%, and hogs are down just 0.1% across the board. Kind of quiet. Holiday season, things kind of get quiet. People put the money in their pockets and don't get excited about too much stuff right now.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody lighten us up with the heart me's, Hokey Gigi, Lisa Maria, Baby Girl, Real Alex, Martini Time, Robbie Miller, Jan Lovin being Grandma. Hey, Jeff Paps here. Hey, Jeff. Cognitive Dissonance, Sassy Minnesota Girl, Towie Bixby, everybody sending heart me's. Hey, Allie Mae's here. Hi, Allie Mae. Secret Squirrel, Barb 7599, John Gwynn, Dana Mackey. Oh, thank you all. Yeah, we're trying to figure out this algorithm with TikTok. We think we may have at least a portion of it figured out. That's why we're asking for the heart me's. But thank you for doing that. Andrea Lynn 81 said, I'm level 17 as well. Excellent. I love it. Excellent. All right.
Benji's at level 39.
Benji 1959. Oh, yeah, that's Big Ben, man. He is one of our pillars in the community.
He's not messing around.
Him and John Gwynn and Jan Lovin being Grandma and Charlie and everybody, Towie Bixby. I mean, the list goes on. So cool. Thank you, everybody. Martini Time. Hey, John Langlois just showed up. Hey, John Langlois. Loy, I should say. I've got to get that pronunciation right. James, what do we have for military today?
I'm bringing you a Christmas present, Sam.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Nigeria was the Christmas focal point as the United States targeted Islamic State targets. The United States strikes were part of an exchange of intelligence and strategic coordination between the two countries. The Boko Haram extremist group was the prime target. Another prominent extremist group, I butchered that, Lakurawa, has been active in the northeast of Nigeria since 2017 and likely received Christmas warmth from the United States as well. Motives for these gang attacks differ, but are often driven by the absence of state and security presence in the conflict hotspots, which make recruiting easier. These hotspots have countries' highest levels of poverty, hunger, and unemployment. Our involvement, as seen by experts, is crucial help for Nigeria's security forces. It's simple to grasp. We have overwhelming firepower. The toughest delta to overcome in these extremist groups is they often take hostages, to include school children, making airstrikes very difficult. As we see them, up to date foreign relations, affairs, and intelligence, accurate intelligence, are the key factors in our airstrikes, minimizing collateral damage.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a perfect example of FAFO, right? And I don't use the actual words because this is a what I should say, rated G channel. Well, sometimes
I'll do it.
No,
No.
don't do it, James.
No.
We got it.
Nope.
Exactly.
Family show. Family show.
Cognitive Dissonance says, love your road Trump train. Yes. Thank you, Ben. Benji 1959 said, I'm level 39. Yes, you are, Ben. And let's see here. John Gwynn said, I'm at 40. Exactly. Oh, look at Towie lighting us up. Thank you, Towie. Let's see. Mama Bear said, that's true. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Nutty81 said, yes, they deserved it. Oh, man, you guys are out of... Everybody have a little extra coffee this morning? Is that what's going on here? David Morales over on YouTube said, Stephen, the first to get exited in the name of Christianity, the prototype of martyrdom, protecting the faith. Translations are boxing up leftovers in the memory of St. Stephen, therefore Boxing Day. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. Johnny B, thank you for the hat and mustache. All right. Well, and we will have Dr. Glidden with us. I got a text from him this morning. He will be here about 9:30. So if you guys want to keep an eye out for him, and everybody at home, make sure that you've got your questions ready for Dr. Glidden. He will be here for our Health and Wellness Friday today. I wasn't quite sure because of the holiday, but he said he will be here. Paco said rated G. Well, rated G most of the time, Paco. It's whether or not James has his nitrous, what is that stuff called?
NOS.
NOS. There we go. It's whether or not James has an extra dose of NOS or not, or whether we cross into the PG classification from time to time. Kathleen Garcia is here. Good morning, Kathleen. All right. So moving into the first story. So there was a 6.1 magnitude earthquake. Oh, look at that from Towie. Happy Friday. 6.1 magnitude earthquake in Taiwan. And then on the heels of that, Hawaii's Kilauea, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Kilauea volcano erupted, and they had fountains of up to 70 feet. Now, we haven't seen, to best of my knowledge, we haven't seen a lot of weather modification in the last couple of months. Could this be part of it? And the reason I say that is it is my understanding and is my belief that there are specifically one ship that has the ability to drill down into the ocean bed and set off tectonic earthquakes, right, to affect the tectonic plates. Now, is it possible that some of that may be happening with these earthquakes and with these volcanoes? I don't know, but it's a speculation. Alex, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we can't go to the moon. We can't affect tectonic plates either.
Ouch! I knew that was something like that was coming. Dave? Oh, Alex, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we were all crazy for saying there was weather modification in the first place until, now there's companies out there talking about how we'll come in and make it rain for you. So, nothing's out of the realm of possibility. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Christine Thomas is here. Hey, Christine. And Seamus is here. Sean. Good morning, Sean. Glad you made it, brother. James, what are your thoughts on this whole weather modification / earthquakes and volcanoes?
Well, Sam, as far as digging holes in the ground, it's a new one on me, but I'm going to probably leave that speculation for you. This earthquake happened in southeastern Taiwan, the epicenter near Taitung County Hall, with a depth of 11.9 kilometers. The deadliest earthquake in recorded history was in Shenxi province in China in 1556, claiming 830,000 people. In 1960, a 9.5 hit Chile and was the largest earthquake ever instrumentally recorded.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, in reference to the tectonic device, there's only one ship that I'm aware of that has that ability. And that ship was spotted off of the coast of Fukushima in Japan several years ago when that huge earthquake happened and the following tsunami. So that's what I'm referring to. I don't know what they call it. I believe it's part of HARP, but I could be mistaken. But that's what I was referring to, James.
Shake 'em and bake 'em, baby.
Exactly. Did you get that one, Lisa Maria? Shake 'em and bake 'em. Exactly.
There's also reports that the weather stations up in the or down in the Antarctic have things buried super deep that can affect things too. So again, is it out of the realm of possibility?
Yeah, exactly. Earl Shannon over on YouTube said Trump is going to start garnishments on student loans. If he does this, it will affect millions. Well, we've got to remember too, now whether he's going to do it or not, I don't know. But how many times has President Trump said something and then pivoted on that subject? Many, many times. So I wouldn't get too upset until we see what happens and how it plays out. And that's just my opinion. Let's see here. Sue B said, shake it. Exactly. Oh, they're shaking it, that's for sure. Kathleen Garcia said, but God says in the end times. Well, I'm not going to get into the whole eschatology of scripture, but suffice it to say that I have studied end times theology for years. And I think there is a major disconnect between modern theological belief systems versus the old time theologians like John Calvin, Martin Luther, Augustine. I've read them all or most of them anyway, the ones that I mentioned for sure. So I think you have to be careful when you're talking about a modern perspective on eschatology, which is basically the study of scripture. And also, Kathleen, and this is just my opinion, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, New Testament in Greek, Jesus spoke Aramaic. All three of those languages have a much more robust vocabulary than English. So sometimes translation, context, and syntax can make a huge difference on interpreting those things. And that's just my opinion.
Removing entire books from the original also tends to.
You think? Exactly. Anyway, just wanted to address that. Hey, Kathleen Paschke's here over on Facebook. Hey, Kathleen. So moving on. So the Trump administration has banned anti-free speech European Union globalists from entering the U.S. Sounds like a classic case of FAFO. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, it's keeping the troublemakers out of our country, plain and simple across the board. They can mess up Europe as much as they like. They're welcome to stay over there.
Exactly, James.
Well, you can't talk about him if you don't identify him. Imran Ahmed, British CEO, Center for Countering Digital Hate. Claire Medford, the British leader, Global Disinformation Index. Thierry Breton, French leader, Craft, the EU Digital Services Act. Josephine Ballon, the German co-leader for Hate Aid. And Annalena von Hodenberg, a German co-leader of Hate Aid. I think after all this, then the left is going to need some new neck braces.
Do you think? Exactly. Boomerangs incoming. Alex?
You're fired.
Exactly.
Get out.
Exactly.
Get out. We have a First Amendment for a reason, protected by the Second. I mean, no other place in the world. Our forefathers were brilliant. They were brilliant. They knew. They had already experienced it, right? Yesterday being the 49th anniversary of the crossing of the Delaware. What these men did and what they saw coming and what they laid in place for us, man. Where are these men today? Where would they be today in given times and scenarios?
100%. 100%. Moving on. So this is interesting. This was directly off of the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ's X account. And they said that the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the SDNY, where have we heard that multiple times before? Oh, yeah. And the FBI have informed the Department of Justice that they have uncovered over 1 million more documents potentially related to Epstein and Maxwell. The DOJ has received these documents from the SDNY and the FBI to review. Alex, what do you make of it?
FAFO. We're going to have to watch the long game on this one, right? There's so much chess being played around it. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, it's a hoax. Oh, it's this. But then I saw in one of the most recent documents where they have had the ability to copy and paste or use AI to unredact, where it specifically speaks about number 47 being an informant.
Exactly. And the fact that you can take the redacted names, copy and paste them into a Word document and reveal the names, that wasn't by chance, in my opinion. Dave?
When it becomes mainstream news that he was an informant, the left's head is going to explode. I love it. This is great. Let's go.
Exactly. More. And it's interesting. One of my cousins, Joe, I won't use his last name, was at a celebration at my sister's yesterday for Christmas Day. And we were talking about, the level of cognitive dissonance that is still prevalent in the United States population. There was another person at the dinner who literally, we were having a discussion. Everybody was giving their opinions, and he got so upset that he literally left the dinner, got up and left. And unfortunately, I hate to see that happen because I did my best to make sure that it was a civil discussion. But when people have that high a level of cognitive dissonance, they don't have the ability to regulate themselves. Their emotions become overwhelmed, and then they either blow up or shut down or leave or whatever it is. And it's unfortunate because as we move forward, there's going to be so much revealed. And it's going to happen fairly quickly that I think some people are going to have a very hard time transitioning from what they believe to be true to what the actual truth is. James?
Well, as far as the government finding another million documents, when I was coming through Illinois, I picked up a hitchhiker and turned out to be Jimmy Hoffa.
Really? Dave?
He's been on the road for a while there, James.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
No, it's interesting. The Southern District of New York is brought up a lot. I think we can control it now. In my opinion and in my imagination, what happened is we released another $1 million because it's been approved to push forward because of all the court cases and all the what we've talked about. So you give it to them. They say they found it. They release it to it. Hey, look what we found. 1 million documents?
Right.
You got to be kidding me. Like you can I trip over a laundry basket in the hallway. I imagine 1 million documents, you'll find it way before that.
Exactly. Charlie, thank you for all the gifts. Kissing Bandit and lipstick, hitting us all with the lipstick. I love it. Alex?
I want to know how you got those cement shoes in the front of that cab, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, we all know that the Supreme Court decided not to side with President Trump over the troops in Chicago. Well, Clandestine, who the guy's brilliant over on X, he came out with a statement that I agree with. He said that he was reading through the Supreme Court ruling on Trump versus Illinois, and that they ruled that Trump needs to invoke the Insurrection Act in order to send the troops into Chicago. Is this laying the groundwork for what I believe already happened or publicly going to be displayed? I mean, the Insurrection Act, I don't see this as coincidental. Alex, what do you think?
No such thing as coincidence. We're watching a chess game. It's 5 moves ahead of anything that they're going to do or say. In the dissent, Amy Coney Barrett specifically said that in order for this to happen, the Insurrection Act would have to be a play in that. And the fact that the Supreme Court is bringing up the Insurrection Act. So, while the left is like, haha, Trump lost and they can't put the National Guard, at the same time, they're not seeing the logic behind why that is true, right? So let's FAFO. I mean, that's the flag. That we all need to be flying that flag for the next 6 weeks and see how it works out.
Exactly. Hey, Not a Guru just made it. Hey, Not a Guru. And everybody, thank you for the heart me's. Well, we're trying, just so everybody knows, we're asking everybody to send heart me's. You can only send one per day so that we can break through this algorithm with TikTok. It's really appreciated. And then on the heels of that, before I get to you, James, on the heels of that, the White House announced that they're considering deploying Marines to Chicago after Scotus struck down the National Guard. Is it all interrelated, James?
I believe it is. It's very simple. The fundamental technicalities weren't met by the United States government. The government failed to identify a source of authority. It's their second loss in 4 days. However, Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch would have granted the permission for them to go through. So think about the other four. However, countermandering the commander in chief is risky business. It sets an unbiased legal battle that we don't need to experience. The Insurrection Act negates all the other possibilities for them to say no. It's not surprising that that SCOTUS has said use the Insurrection Act, but it sure would have alleviated a whole lot of tar and feathering going on. I would have liked to have seen it. It'd have been a lot of less wasted time. I mean, they talk about budget. Why do we have to spend our money in a courtroom when we don't need to?
Right. Cognitive dissonance said, you know why I have that in my name? Absolutely. Benji 1959 said LMFAO. Exactly, Ben. Paco said, better not to have politics at a family gathering. Well, it really wasn't politics. It had to do with the entertainment industry. And he's a SAG actor. So anyway, it was interesting. Kathleen Garcia said, forcing his hand. Cognitive dissonance said, it's all a movie. Wendy said, I thought he already did the Insurrection Act. I believe he did, Wendy, but I don't think they've released it to the public yet. Talbani 3 said, the National Guard and troops are different, right? Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are. Although
11:30 and doctor.
Okay, National Guard being federalized would put it in a different category, which they already have been. So we'll have to wait and see how it is.
Sam,
Yeah.
And you think Chicago's going to be the hardest nut to crack. It may be the backbone to all this corruption.
Right.
And each state we knock down, California, Michigan, Chicago, and everything else, it's coming to light slowly but surely.
Exactly. Jan Levin, being grandma, said they were crossing their T's and dotting their I's. 100% I agree. Well, look who we have with us. Dr. Peter Glidden. Good morning, sir.
Ho, 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 ho. Hello, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure.
I half expected you to come in with a Santa suit on or something.
Did everybody have a wonderful Christmas?
We did. It was just fantastic. Hey, Dave, do me a favor. Will you drop out and come back in so Doc's in the middle? Thank you. Charlie, thank you for the sparklers. We're trying to get the screen set up right here, Doc. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we had a great Christmas. What about yourself?
Yes, all good. The whole family's here. The big house full of kids and grandkids, and it was great.
Oh, come on! You're not old enough to have grandkids, are you?
I know. I'm really not.
Exactly. How's the ankle feeling?
90% better. And as part of my subscription service, I have a live Q&A for my subscribers, and we do it for 1 hour twice a week. 1 hour Tuesday, 1 hour Thursday, and I had broadcast to the multitude, that I hurt my ankle, and I was telling everybody what I was doing for it. And a woman came on, one of my subscribers, and she said, hey, guess what? A year ago, she did exactly the same thing. She rolled her ankle, nothing was broken, but it was a serious sprain. And she treated it with light therapy, and it was fixed within, I think she said 48 hours.
Yeah, and you said that's precipitated you to start looking into that more, right?
So I just yesterday, I think because of, the Christmas slowness in shipping, I just got the light therapy book yesterday with instructions about what to do. So I'm going to start it today, and I'll keep you posted.
I'm so looking forward to that. That just intrigues me to no end.
Yeah, in the book that I got, there was a line by line recording of a court case that happened in the early 1900s, where the AMA tried to shut down the doctor who was promoting light therapy and who was using light therapy extremely successfully. So, I've been so deep down this rabbit hole for so long that it's second nature to me that we do not have medical freedom. And this is a very important message for everybody to understand, that, people are aware that monopolies are bad, right? Except for the people that own the monopoly.
Yeah.
Everybody is on board with that. But very few people are aware that we have existed inside of a medical monopoly for over 100 years.
Right.
And it's killing us, literally. We desperately need medical freedom in this country. We need equal access to all types of medicine at all hospitals. Insurance companies need to cover all types of medicine. Universities need to be encouraged to do research on all types of medicine, not just pharmaceutical centrist research. And this is the way out of the medical mousetrap. It's not going to be, methylene blue for everyone. It's going to be medical freedom. And Benjamin Rush, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, warned us of this, right, 200 years ago.
Right.
Unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize itself into a dictatorship. And that's exactly what's happened here. And very few people are aware of it. They just don't understand that it's a medical monopoly. And the educational system builds fear of authority and respect for authority and cognitive dissonance. It builds it into the psyche of the student.
Doc,
so that's why there's so much cognitive dissonance in this country right now. It's the educational system that's to blame.
100%. Now, before we go any further, Doc, I forgot we needed to do our sponsor break. So we're going to do it while you're here. And we're just going to go through it quick. MyPillow.com. Use the discount code SAM. Get 80% off of your purchases. Dr. Julian Neal, nealnaturopathic.com. Use the code SAM20, SAM20. And then Doc, as you know, Best Line Racing is doing a special for all of our viewers through the end of the year. 50% off. Go to samshalhoub.com, click on the Best Line Racing button, use the code SAM. You'll get 50% off their oil and engine treatments. And then, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, we're going to let you promote your own show, your own website here, Doc.
Well, so the website, the best way to get to my website is to go through the link on Sam's site, the link that Sam provides right here. And the information on my website is the culmination of 37 years of my clinical experience, plus decades of clinical experience of a lot of my colleagues, licensed naturopathic physicians with decades of clinical experience. The information that's available on my website is intended to empower people to know what to do once they've popped out of the medical matrix and they've seen through, they pulled back the curtains on the failures of conventional medicine, but they need to know what to do. So rather than, go to Google Health Coach, go to my website, and I have 108 illnesses that I have referenced. This is what the MDs think about it. This is what the naturopathic doctors think about it. And this is what to do to treat it yourself. Because for most of the conditions that most people go to the doctor for, most of the time, you don't need to go to the doctor. You just need to know what to do to support your body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. And that's the information on my website.
Right. So if you go to samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount on a membership to Dr. Glidden's website. Alex, what about meditation?
If you buy the book that is in my link before the end of the year, I will donate a 1-hour session with you to walk you through it and help you answer any questions. It's Beginner's Guide to a Life-Changing Meditation, the easy road to a peaceful mind.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex.
Meditation, it's not what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Sassy Minnesota girl, Doc, said she wants to know who you were calling a hoe when you first came on the show. Exactly. Good one, Sassy. I like that. Okay, so let's get into some questions here for Dr. Glidden. Charlie asked, is the B12 shot okay?
Yeah, the B12 shot is okay, but the B12 shot is somewhat juvenile because it's considered fractionated nutrition, right? It's one nutrient. There are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs. And remember, an essential nutrient is something that the body needs, but it can't make. You need calcium, body can't make it. You need vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, right? There are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs. When you give just one of them and large doses of it, like in an intravenous drip or an intramuscular shot, you're going to upset the balance in the body. You're going to have positive results from it. But doing that is kind of like forcing the body in the same way that drugs force the body, right? It's not really a supportive therapeutic. It's more of a forceful therapeutic. And sometimes it's indicated in people that are very, very, very debilitated. The B12 shot can help, but most of the time it's, somewhat juvenile. And you're going to get a much better bang for your buck if you just give the body everything that it needs, in addition to B12, and then everything works better.
And for everybody who's wondering about the supplements that Doc is talking about, if you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, there's a button that says Get Your Supplements Here. Click on that button, and that's the website that you'll order from. If you have any questions as to which products to get, send me a message, and I'll be happy to help out. David Morales over on YouTube in the UK, Doc, said that naturopathy posts are hitting his FYP. Is anyone else noticing a potential trend? What do you think?
Well, I don't know, man. I tell you, I've been doing this for 37 years. When I graduated and got my license in 1992, there were 4, maybe 5 states in the United States that licensed naturopathic medicine. 4. Now there's 24. So it's a good trend. And, a lot of people have woken up to the shenanigans hoisted upon an unsuspecting humanity by conventional medicine, and they're looking for alternatives. So I think that was the silver lining to the whole COVID thing. But look, man, here's the latest data on COVID. There was a 1,100% increase in mortality in the military post-COVID. 1,100% increase in death rate of members of the military post-COVID. It was from the shot. And still, right? I was just walking by the supermarket the other day. Come in for your COVID shot. Talk about cognitive dissonance. It's huge, man.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical industry has us all over a barrel. They've had us all over a barrel for over 100 years, and they are not going to go quietly into the night.
But not all of us, Doc, thank God. And cognitive dissonance says, thank you for speaking the truth, Doc. 100% I agree. Devora said she had a torn... Oh, Trump train! There we go! We get the Trump train, Doc, and we get all excited when we see the Trump train. Devora said she had a torn rotator cuff, and it was healed with no surgery, only red light therapy.
Yeah, you got to, if I had $1 billion, I would probably put half of it into light therapy. The other half I would put into naturopathic, figuring out and perfecting naturopathic and homeopathic techniques. Before the Flexner Report and the hostile takeover of medicine in the early 1900s, there were 150 homeopathic hospitals in the U.S., 150. And within 5 years of the Flexner Report, they were all gone.
That's called a cartel, Doc.
And more's the pity.
Yeah, 100%.
Doc, have you heard of a company, EMR Tech?
I have not.
Okay, EMR Tech, that light that I showed you last week when we were talking about red light therapy. I can send you a link or information, but their red light, their UV, their units that they use are industry leading as far as the science behind the way they've designed their lights. They're not cheap, but right, we get what we pay for. But EMR Tech, I think, would be a great resource for you if you're starting to look into the red light and the information that's out there, and a great product.
Let's go.
So Donna Fox, Doc, last week heard about what you said for the COPD, and she reached out to me, and I guided her on how to get it. And she said that she ordered her EFA and respiratory support for her COPD. So we'll be anxious to see what your results are with that, Donna, once that happens.
Usually within 21 days, you notice a result. Everybody, and remember, healing with a holistic therapeutic, a healing therapeutic, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It will take time, but if you're doing the right things, then every week, more or less, there should be a progressive improvement, progressive improvement, progressive improvement. It's kind of like watching ice melt in the springtime. So pay attention to how your body responds to this, and, let's go.
Doc, Not a Guru said, my hemoglobin is 10.9. Do you have anything for that?
Well, I'll tell you what my reference range for hemoglobin is. So the medical doctors, the blood work reference ranges that they have are all based on pathology, right? That's kind of like you go into the fire department doesn't get called to the house until the house is in flames, right? We have healthy reference ranges for blood work, which are better to use because they're more indicative of preventive medicine, right? What can we do to prevent this from turning into an actual problem? So the hemoglobin, I'm looking it up right now. This is in my book, by the way. The healthy reference range is 12.6 to 14.5. 12.6 to 14.5. So if your hemoglobin, did they say it was high or low?
Let's see if he can respond to that. I'm not sure. I don't see. Let's see. He said, Not a Guru said, I'm low.
Low. Okay, so low hemoglobin, the first thing to consider is it's a bone marrow problem. So you want to look to see if you have been experiencing other problems with bones and joints, right? Like if you've got aches and pains or chronic unremitting arthritis or bone or joint pain anywhere, then that's probably the culprit. So the recommendation here to upregulate that would be the Healthy Foundation Pack, plus 1 extra bottle of calcium every month, the liquid calcium, 1 extra bottle of the plant minerals every month, and a encapsulated glucosamine sulfate. It's called glucogel. It's basically bone support, because that's where your red blood cells are made, in the bone marrow. So if you have funky red blood cells, then you probably have funky bone marrow. And what we need to do to help the body have healthy red blood cells is to help the bones be healthy, and that's the best way to do it.
Excellent. Pat Militich just joined us, Doc, and Pat, as you know, has started a company called Soil Saviors to rehydrate and detoxify the soil. Good morning, Pat.
Morning, and morning to everybody on here, including Dr. Glidden.
Yeah, do you
Let's
have
go, Pat.
Do you have any questions for Dr. Glidden this morning, or anything you want to say?
Oh, my bigger question, which I want to talk to him about on my podcast eventually, is just one of the topics I wanted to ask him. Considering what they've done we've all done. Look, we've all taken part in our own way, I guess. We can't shuck and jive out of the guilt of modern society, but the destruction of the soil, the microorganisms, the nutrient, the demineralization of the soil and the environment, and what that's done to cause them to have to genetically modify seeds and plants and other organisms, and now they've gotten, of course, into genetically modifying human beings. And what are the legal ramifications from the Supreme Court precedents, Doctor, on genetically modifying human beings? And if we go by Supreme Court precedents, they're property of the corporations that succeeded in genetically modifying them, just like a seed. I'd love to hear his opinion on that.
Well, we're puppets on a string, right? We're all beholden to whatever these big corporations want to do. And there's nothing wrong with, trying to make money and trying to be as big as you can be to help as many people as you can. But big pharma and agribusiness, food industry, they're not in the business of helping people.
Sure.
I think they're in the business actively of making people sicker because, I mean, when you look at it, right, all chronic disease is directly, not indirectly, directly related to nutrient deficiencies. There are other things that cause chronic disease, but nutrient deficiencies is one of the biggest factors. Where do the nutrients come from? They come from the soil. In the 1930s, Congress was presented with a document from the
Document 264, right?
Yeah, document 264 that said, look, the soil, the mineralization of the soil is dramatically decreasing. This is a red alert. Something needs to be done about it, and they didn't do anything about it. So they've known about that for 90 years now, and they didn't do anything about it. Why didn't they do anything about it? Because if we mineralize the soil, there would be much less chronic disease, right? Number one. And number two, the food that they have all of us eat has all this crap in it and is nutrient deficient and high in high fructose corn syrup and other crap. It's making us sick. It's like putting diesel fuel into an unleaded engine. So when you combine these things, it is a recipe to make people sick. And then people are sick and they're suffering and they have a problem. They have to do something. Well, the only medicine that they have access to, the only medicine that is legally allowed to be practiced in their state, the only medicine that their insurance pays for, is pharmaceutical centrist, reductionistic, materialistic medicine that doesn't cure anything. It just manages the problem. So the heartburn is never cured, it's managed. The blood pressure is never cured, it's managed. The arthritis is never cured, it's managed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a perfect system designed to make people sick and shunt them into a non-curative medical model, which, by the way, irony of ironies, depending on how you crunch the numbers, it's either the leading or the third leading cause of death in this country, and also the leading cause of bankruptcy.
Well, and Charlie, thank you for the spotlight. And, you know, Doc, along those lines, when we're talking about what they're telling us is good for us versus what's really good for us, cholesterol is another one. I just had this conversation at the Christmas dinner table yesterday, and people don't understand the importance of cholesterol. Can you talk?
So much cognitive dissonance has been generated around cholesterol and around salt and around vitamins. Oh, don't take your vitamins. You're just going to get expensive urine. But, oh, by the way, you have to stop taking your vitamins before surgery because it can thin out your blood too much. And people don't understand the disconnect there. It's all one gigantic psyop. It is all one gigantic psyop.
We just got a warning. Hold on a second. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was you, Doc. So what you're going to have to do, Doc, is drop. Well, yeah. So you're going to have to drop out and come back in. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, boys.
Hold on, everybody. We had, of course, the TikTok gods don't like truth. So we're going to.
You better take that down, damn it, Dave.
What? Well, oh, yeah, exactly. Dave's on a roll.
You missed the first one.
Oh, I did.
Don't put that one up.
Okay.
It was Fauci.
Oh, okay. Yeah, be careful with that. Let's see. Is Doc back in?
I'm pulling him up right now, boss.
Hold on, everybody. We got a warning from TikTok. We had to delete Dr. Glidden and bring him back on.
There he is.
There he is. Okay, Doc. Hey, Doc. Jan Lovin being grandma said, "What can cure chronic heartburn?"
Parkinson's?
No, chronic heartburn.
Oh, heartburn is the easiest thing in the world to get on the other side of. The heartburn is caused by a deficiency in salt and a deficiency in calcium. So you have to take the Healthy Foundation Pack, which gives you all of the nutrients that your body needs, plus calcium, in a form, by the way, that's extremely bioavailable. It is the most bioavailable type of calcium I've seen in 37 years of clinical work. And you have to salt your food so that it tastes good. And you've been lied to about this over time. There's no relationship between high blood pressure and salt. That was proven in 1957 by Harvard University. Nobody paid any attention to it. So salt your food so that it tastes good with sea salt. Sea salt, and if you can find sea salt that has iodine added to it, even better. Take the Healthy Foundation pack with 1 extra bottle of the white liquid calcium, and the heartburn symptoms should disappear within 21 days. Heartburn is caused by a deficiency in stomach acid, not an excess of stomach acid. You've been lied to.
And with that deficiency, acid isn't strong enough. It doesn't close properly, or something to that effect.
Yeah, there's a whole biochemical cascade that if your stomach acid, your hydrochloric acid specifically, is not strong enough, which it needs to be, there's a little valve at the top of the stomach that opens up. And the weak acid that's in your stomach squirts into your throat, and that's what causes heartburn. The medical doctors never think through. They'll all tell you, oh, heartburn is too much stomach acid. Well, really? Well, what causes the body to make too much stomach acid? Oh, it's genetic. They can never answer that question. And it's really difficult for the body to make too much of anything. It's really easy for the body to make not enough of things. And, this is another way, just like with cholesterol, that conventional medicine has got it completely backwards. Even though there are mountains of evidence to argue to the contrary, those evidentiary research reports they're not looked at, or they're discarded because, again, of cognitive dissonance.
Doc, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Dave with what he's been putting up on the screen every time you've been talking. It's just cracking me up. Sorry about that.
The Grinch.
Can I ask a question of Dr. Glidden real quick?
Yep.
Yeah.
So somebody put in here that they switched to a higher pH level water and it helped their heartburn considerably. And I just wanted to ask you, because a lot of research that's been done by some of the guys on my team over the years, a lot of years, the higher the pH level of the water, it actually causes problems in the body, because you want your stomach to be very acidic and be able to break down, elements and digest things. Talk about that a little bit in terms of how that flip-flop can happen, and if you've done some research on that as well.
Yeah, so the acid-alkaline balance in the human body is a very sophisticated thing. There are some parts of the body that need to be extremely acidic, like the stomach. The stomach needs to be so acidic, if you cut your finger off and swallowed it, it would dissolve it. It would dissolve it if your stomach acid was as healthy as nature intended it to be. There are other parts of your body that need to be alkaline and not acidic. And the body has 5 mechanisms that it uses to regulate the acid-alkaline balance in all of the different organ systems of the body. The number one, the first component of the body's buffering mechanism is minerals and protein. If you're deficient in protein, or if you are deficient in minerals, your body will have trouble regulating its acid versus alkaline balance. And if you have heartburn and you drink anything alkaline, it will momentarily neutralize the weak stomach acid that's there, and you will temporarily feel better. That's how Tums works. It momentarily neutralizes the weak acid, but that's not curative. It's just putting a Band-Aid on the situation. It's like taking Advil for a headache. Makes you feel better temporarily, but it doesn't fix the problem. The problem, and remember, we are always attempting in a rational, sophisticated, effective system of medicine, we are always attempting to cure the condition. We don't just want to manage it. We want to cure it. We want to support and promote the body's built-in, God-given ability to fix itself. And how do we do that? Well, we give the body all the nutrients it needs, and we stop eating food that's gumming up the works. Those are the first 2 steps. Salt and calcium are mandatory for healthy stomach acid. And most of the time, if you do those 2 simple steps, the heartburn resolves within 21 days.
Doc, I'm going to ask one last question, because I know you have to get going here. But Cause Girl said, what should I do to help my gastritis after gallbladder removal? I do probiotics and L-glutamine.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it. So this begs the question, well, why was your gallbladder removed in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
The gallbladder was removed in the first place because about 15 years ago, the medical doctors perfected laparoscopic surgery to remove the gallbladder, which sometimes is an outpatient thing. Worst case scenario, you're in the hospital for 24 hours. Before they perfected that technique, It was like a 12-inch incision to remove the gallbladder, and you were in the hospital for a good week. It was a big freaking major surgery deal. Now they can do it, like pulling somebody's tooth. So the incidence of gallbladder surgery has dramatically increased in the last 15 years. Why? Because, well, if you're a surgeon, all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So whether the gallbladder, in point of fact, needs to come out or not, they're going to pull it out because they can, and they're going to get paid handily for it, and it's an easy surgical procedure, and it's a big moneymaker.
And Doc, from an ideology standpoint, the gallbladder, the spleen, and the tonsils, they believe are vestigial organs left over from evolution. I mean, how crazy is that?
In a perfect MD world, here's what would happen, right? We'd all have hearing aids. We'd all have dentures. We'd all have fake lenses in the eyes, because it's only a matter of time until your hearing goes. It's only a matter of time until you get cataracts. It's only a matter of time until you get really bad teeth. So you might as well just yank them all out. We'd all have fused cervical vertebrae, because it's only a matter of time until you get degenerative disc disease. You don't need that. Your appendix would be yanked. Your tonsils would be yanked. Your adenoids would be yanked. If you're a woman, after you were 35 years of age, your uterus and your ovaries would be yanked because, well, you don't need those anymore. And if you keep them in the body, the chances are high that you're going to have uterine ovarian cancer. And, oh, by the way, let's remove the breasts while we're at it. Oh, yeah, and then everybody's going to have a fake hip. They're going to have a fake knee. They're going to have fake shoulders. Then they're going to need a prescription medicine to fall asleep, a prescription medicine to wake up, a prescription medicine not to pee, a prescription medicine to pee, and so forth and so on. And that's the perfect result of allopathic, reductionistic, mechanistic, materialistic, mediocre, Machiavellian, monopolistic medicine.
Holy smokes, Doc. I wish there was a big set of stairs that I could get you to go and dance up on like Rocky over that speech. Holy smokes. Talk about the amount of truth being spilled in about a 1-minute dissertation. Incredible.
Yeah, and talk about being censored again on TikTok just for speaking the truth.
That's all right. Whatever. We'll get past that. David Morales, finally, Doc, I just want you to hear this before you take off. He said, David Morales on YouTube in the UK said, priceless knowledge put in layman's terms. Dr. Glidden is beyond appreciated. I couldn't have said it better.
Well, I mean, thank you.
You're welcome. It's well deserved. All right, everybody. So that's it for the show today. Doc, I know that you've got to get running. We'll see you next Friday, I hope.
I hope so, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. Live long and prosper.
Thanks, Doc. All right, there we go. And we did not hit our goal today, so we're going to move straight to final thoughts. Any final thoughts there, Pat?
I love listening to Dr. Glidden. I mean, he helps encapsulate things for people in a pretty simple way. And just for nutrient deficiencies, add on to that what modern man has done with, a minimum of 80 some plus thousand chemicals. Many of those, of course, in our soil, our water, our air. And so you multiply or magnify the problems. So, societies and civilizations collapsed from nutrient deficiencies in the past. Now we've doubled down and put massive amounts of chemicals and toxified the environment and human beings, of course. So it's just a matter of understanding how to remove the toxins, replace with what Dr. Glidden's talking about. And you can do that with soil, with your animals, with yourself and your children, and correct the situation and protect yourself from the ridiculous environment.
Yeah, and Pat, before you sign off here, will you tell everyone where they can find your podcast? I'd love to have everybody go and follow you over there.
Yeah, just look up the Pat Miletich Show on any platform, Rumble, or any of the platforms. They're now being released, and I've talked to guys, some very impressive doctors, Robert Scott Bell, Dr. Rich Orley, who wrote Minerals for the Genetic Code. I'll be speaking with a lot of course, former military special forces, intelligence officials, a lot of high-tech people as well, trying to help people put together the pieces of the puzzle of the world we're dealing with today and how to protect themselves.
Yep, great. Thank you. And what's the name of the show again, Pat?
The Pat Miletich Show.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Pat. James?
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here on Friday. It was a special treat to have Pat jump into. I always like to listen to his wisdom and his background. It's very interesting. Appreciate the gifts, you guys. It's really cool. It's good to be home. I'm kind of, licking my wounds after spending a day with Dave. It's wow, what an experience. Send me home with some horseradish and some hot sauce, and I can't wait to get into that. You guys have a great holiday, and I'm going to continue beer testing today.
There we go. Dave?
We had somebody ask a question on how to connect with Dr. Glidden.
Go to samshalhoub.com. There's a button on the upper right-hand corner of my website. Click on that button. That'll take you to his website. And if you want to become a member of his membership, use the code SAM and you'll get a 30% discount.
Yep. No, it's exciting to see where you're at. I appreciate everybody spending some time post-Christmas. Hopefully they can recover before Monday. And exciting to see what the weekend will bring. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Very well. Alex?
Well, apparently I wore my cup unnecessarily because nobody took any shots today. What's going on, Pat? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope everybody had a great holiday with family. Again, time, we say it every show, is something you can't make more of. You can't get back. You can't buy it. And it's not lost on us that you choose to spend it with us Monday through Friday every week. Pat, Dave, James, and of course, Sam, appreciate you guys. And I hope that your weekend is restful, peaceful, and full of love and family. I hope everybody will join us on Monday.
Couldn't said it any better. Pat, Dave, James, of course, Alex, and everyone at home. Challenges can be challenging. There can be bumps in the road. I get it. But just keep in mind as we go forward that the best is yet to come. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see everybody on what?
Wait, Sam, check your numbers.
Check my number. Holy, how did that happen? We were just at like 60,000 likes, and somehow you guys got it up to 102,000 likes. Oh, and everybody, I want everybody to know I got my TikTok statistics for the year for 2025. We had over 24 million likes on our live broadcasts in 2025. 24 million. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Well, that just means one thing. We're going to be dancing today, but let me sign off over on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Everybody over there, thank you for being here.